Hi, I'm Steve Berry. Welcome to the preview for our March sale here at Barron's Manor Park Classics South in Southampton. This Saturday, March the 7th, we'll be selling all these lovely cars. What a variety we've got. What a mixed bag of delights for you. Starting with this, get this, a genuine barn find. There's a lot of that barn find talk out there, but it's not that often that you come across the real thing, and that's why we thought we'd start with this car. 1970 Morgan 4.4, it's got a 4-cylinder engine, it's kind of got 4 seats. Well, it has got 4 seats, you know. It's a Morgan, for goodness sake. Like we said, this one's from 1970, 2 owners from new, the same family, in the same family since 1973. Now, at some point in the early 80s, i.e. 40 years ago, yes, it truly is 40 years since the early 80s, this car was put into storage, possibly in a barn or another structure similar to a barn that could accommodate a car, and it wasn't used. It's been pulled out of that barn. I mean, look at the tyres. These tyres are the original Pirellis Cinturaros. Somebody's just put a bit of dressing on there. I mean, you might not want to use them, but they're like the original tyres on this car. Now, obviously, it suffered a little bit, the paintwork and such like. However, having not been running 40 years, the chaps here at Barron's, I think, what did they do? What did they say they do? They had a look at the points, and then they thought, oh, well, it's got a spark. Didn't put any fuel in it. So the fuel had possibly been in it since Margaret Thatcher was in power, fired up and ran. And not only did it run, it runs like a Rolex, this thing. You won't believe it. So it's got 13,000 miles from new. That's not warranted. We think that's genuine because of the amount of time it's been off the road. The car, this is the original registration, signed and supplied to Mr. R.M. Cragg, who was a member of the Morgan Owners Club and heavily involved in the club's activities. So like we say, 13,000 miles from new, in a barn for the last 40 years, the engine runs, the brake pedal is seized, but the car is rolling, as he said, making it roll so that you can see that the brakes themselves aren't seized on, it's the pedal. We don't know what's going on there, but we've not tried to do anything to fix that. That's down to you. If you buy this car, which is available, a genuine, we're not, you know, it's a real barn find, out of commission, off the scene for 4 decades, only 13,000 miles before that, so the seats, the hood, all the things that are normally worn out and knackered on a Morgan like this are all in great order. The estimate on this one, £4,500 to £5,500. The 1970 Morgan 4.4 barn find. I'll say it again, a real barn find. Get it back on the road. The engine, Tony, here raving about how well the engine ran on the 40-year-old fuel, believe it or not. Wouldn't do that on modern fuel, would it? A Chesil Speedster, not a Hoffman Speedster. I did the Manchester-Blackpool classic car run in a real one of these. And when we turned up at the car park, the bloke who was in charge, who was wearing a high-vis jacket and camouflage trousers, so quite conflicted in some ways. Did he want to be seen or not be seen? He wandered over and he said, "Is that a Chesil?" I said, "No, it's a real one." And he went, "Oh." He seemed disappointed that I was in a real Hoffman Speedster, which is probably worth, what, between £500,000 and £750,000, as opposed to one of these, a Chesil Speedster, which isn't a real Porsche Speedster. It's got a Porsche badge on it there. It's probably got Porsche badges on the side and on the steering wheel, yes, and on the back, yes. But it looks like a real one, and it probably drives like a real one. Built on a VW Beetle chassis, as most of them are, reinforced tubular steel frame. We've got the lightweight fiberglass body supplied by Chesil on top there to make the most of the engine. It's got a 1.6 litre, it's not a 1300, it's a 1600, air-cooled flat 4 that's been rebuilt. It's covered very few miles since this car this tribute car, this homage car, this recreation car, whatever we want to call it. I'm not knocking these. I think they're really nicely done. And the real thing is so way far out of the... I mean, when I say I did the event in that car, it wasn't my car. But obviously, I'm not in that sort of league. It just belonged to somebody that I know who is in that sort of league. But I might be in this sort of league, and so might you. Only 159 miles on the odometer since the completion of the build. It's got an MOT until July 2026, registered as 1970, which is the Beetle floor pan and motor that it's on. So you get a very convincing number plate. You know, we know that it wouldn't be from 1970 if it was a real Porsche Speedster like this one, but most people wouldn't. So you're fooling most folk, which is, you know, as much as you can expect, really. There's not too much else to tell. Built, done very few miles, like we say, we think 160 miles since it was completed. In absolutely superb order. I love this colour. It goes really well with the black interior. Let me tell you something as well. Those seats, I think they're out of a Golf. Are they out of a Golf? They look familiar. I don't mean a modern Golf. They're a lot more comfortable and accommodating than the seats in an actual Speedster. I will tell you that. 1970 Chesil Speedster, just been finished, lovely thing, can't really find any fault with it. 25,000 to 28,000 is our estimate for where the hammer will fall at our sale this Saturday at Barron's. It's this way. Triumph TR3 B, right-hand drive, fantastic condition, lovely car, brought over from South Africa, where it spent most of its life, like quite a few cars these days, aren't there? Quite a few cars coming over from South Africa. Obviously, they're right-hand drive if they're from there, which is, I was going to say a big advantage. It's not really a big advantage when a car's this size, is it? I've had little convertible left-hand drive sports cars. Don't make that much difference, but might to you, and this one does benefit from right-hand drive. So it's the 849th TR3 built by Motor Assembly Limited, Durban. Yeah, they were sent there as knockdown kits and assembled over there. First registered in the UK in 2016. It's got the TR3 engine, 2.2 engine, 4-speed all-synchromesh manual gearbox with overdrive, and it features uprated brakes. So it's kind of resto-modded, this car, in a way, really, isn't it? You know, that habit of sort of not just restoring a car, but improving the handling, the performance, the amount of horsepower that it generates to try and sort of give it more modern motoring manners, if you will, whilst retaining all the style and elegance. Because it is a very elegant car, isn't it, this TR3? I love it. 1963. 9,500 to 11,500 pounds. Not sure about these wheels, but you know, that's up to you. And wheels, of course, are extremely easy to change. You'll be able to flog these. They're in fantastic condition. The paint's great. It's got a few scratches here and there. Needs a good waxing. I love these. They're a bit odd looking, but I like this combination of sort of the protruding headlights, the big old badge there, TR3, the big shiny, should be a bit shinier than that, but that's down to you again. The big shiny grille and all that. This was all for the Americans, wasn't it? That's what they wanted. They wanted it to be flashy, and it is. 9,500 to 11,500 pounds, TR3 B. Porsche Boxster. We're getting quite a few of these in down here at Barron's in Southampton. And it's because when they were new, they seemed like an awful lot of car. I was going to say for very little money. It wasn't very little money, but they seemed like great value because they were great value. 1998 Boxster, lovely low mileage example. Classic silver with a black hood, 2.5, the original 2.5 litre water-cooled flat six, just over 200 brake horsepower. Doesn't seem like a lot now, but it was plenty back in 1998, which, lest we forget, is nearly 30 years ago. Wow. It's got the desirable, it says here, Tiptronic S transmission offering fully automatic operation. Just under 70,000 miles from new. The mileage is described as genuine and well documented. The paintwork is fab. The person who owned it looked after it, didn't hammer it too much, and if you can just whirl around for a second, just in the corner there you can see the hardtop, I'm imagining, that comes with this car, and that would be an expensive addition if you wanted to experience this car year round. It should have aircon. That's the problem with a hardtop. If a convertible is going to come with a hardtop, I know this from my own experience. If you're going to put a hardtop on a convertible, you should really have air conditioning. Otherwise, you spend like 20 minutes just trying to see out of the damn thing. And this does, as well as I said, the Tiptronic S transmission. They're getting collectible. I've said it once, well, I've said it more than once, but I will say it again. Look for an early one like this. Look for a nice one. Don't get one that you have to do up. Lots of the people who bought these looked after them. And the person who had this one did. Like we say, just under 70,000 miles. And cheap. Buy them now. They won't be this cheap for long. £4,000 to £6,000. The Porsche Boxster from 1998. Here's a car I like and lots of other people like as well. It's a Ford Puma. Ooh, it's the pokey one, if you'll pardon the expression. Ford Puma 1.7 16 valve. 5-speed manual, finished in silver, 3 former keepers. Just under since the year 2000, so in 26 years, it's managed to cover 33,000 miles. So it's like 1,200 a year or something like that. Obviously a second or third car doesn't show signs of not being used. There's not the telltale signs of things like little screws down here going rusty and stuff like that. It's obviously been garaged throughout its life, this car. It wouldn't be in this sort of condition. The wheels are great, the tyres are good. It's a modest cloth interior. You know, it's not too fancy schmancy in there. It's got air conditioning. Yeah, it's the 1.7 16 valve. I do like the Puma. I love the design. This one is in fantastic condition. There were a lot of these about, weren't they? It was a really well thought out design, really cohesive. It looked like some cars from this period looked like they were designed by a committee. You know, like one lot did the back, one lot did the middle, and somebody else did the front. Like they make pop songs these days. But back in the day, you had like 1 or 2 people writing a song. You know, like Lennon and McCartney or Jagger and Richards. Well, this is like that. It looks like the same people thought through the interior, the exterior, and of course, with that 1.7 16 valve engine, it would really go. The Ian Callum design, I'm saying all these things, I know Ian Callum. Is he a mate of mine? I definitely know him. In fact, I'm having a drink with him next week. But I'm going to tell him, I'm going to say, do you know what, Ian? That Puma, and he'll go, yeah, great looking car, isn't it? And rare now, in this condition especially. £4,500 to £5,500. You might not have thought I was going to say that when I started off by saying, oh, a Ford Puma, but this one is exceptional. It really is. It's very, very hard to fault. And it's in our sale this Saturday at Barron's. Ford Escort RS2000. There we are. I'll go around that way, you go around that way. Now, what are we calling this colour? Plum? What about aubergine? Because I think that's what it is. It's almost like a very dark Dubonnet, but I'd say aubergine. 11 years of ownership on this one, £5,000 spent on paint and bodywork, and I can well believe that because it is rather lovely. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you can get a shot down the side there, but it really is well done. Better done than it was ever done by Ford, the paint on this car. Fantastic. 2,000 cc's, well, 1998, inline 4-cylinder, 150 brake horsepower, 5-speed manual gearbox. A very simple recipe, but oh, what a lovely cake did they bake. These are great. Not the regular cooking version of this Escort, they were terrible, but this one is good and they're undervalued. We've got a selection of maintenance history, invoices totaling £1,400 for a strip down and removal of the interior, cutting out any corrosion. Some welding done on the floor pan and the sills. We're being straightforward and honest about that. And the offside inner wing. In other words, somebody spent a ton of money sorting out a Ford Escort RS 2000 that had had a life. What's the mileage on this? What's it done? Let me have a look. Yeah, just under 100,000 miles. So it's done just 100,000 miles. Somebody's used it. High spec on this, of course. So you've got, do you get aircon on one of these? I don't think you do. They just say open a window. And you've got a sunshine roof, as Jeremy Clarkson used to say. If you look back at old Top Gear, real Top Gear, you know, when I was on it, first mention, he always said sunshine roof. What's that? Quite odd. Sunroof, isn't it? Sunshine roof? I don't know. Anyway, you've got that. You've got the spoiler on the back. It's all there, all standard. Lovely Recaro interior. The standard interior on this generation of Escorts was horrible, but these Recaro seats look great. They seem to be in fantastic condition. 7.5 to 9.5. Yes, really. 7.5 to 9.5 thousand on this 1995 Ford Escort RS 2000. Quite high mileage, but the work's been done. We've got all the invoices, the bills, we've got all the paperwork that shows you what has been done and why it's been done and where it's been done. But I don't think you can see, skilled though our camera person is, got a smile there, just how good this is. Really, really nice. Beautifully done. A credit to the people who did it. A Rover Mini Sprite. See, that's the thing with minis. There's one there. There's one there. I think it's this one. They're small, so they hide behind other cars. Hey, look at this. Come on. Right, straight away, it's got those, what are we calling them? Visors on top of the headlights. And you just got, you can't help yourself, can you? You just go, oh, look at that. Isn't it cute? It is. Want to attract attention from, I was going to say the opposite sex, but of course you can't say that these days. Want to attract attention from other people who you might want to have an ongoing romantic relationship with? Get a Mini, like one of these. Oh, it works a treat. It's better than having a Labrador Retriever. All kinds of people will want to talk to you that wouldn't normally. Charming, compact and collectible. That's what the lads here have said. And lasses. Got to be careful, I'm such an old dinosaur. I'm going to get put on a list if I'm not careful. I think I'm already on one. This is fantastic. It's a Mini, but with attitude. So it's 1275 with a 4-speed manual gearbox. The current owner's had it for 3 years. We've got an aftermarket steering wheel. It's got the Rover, the Sprite logo in the middle. Extensive service history, including a service book with 16 entries, 7 from main dealers. The documented history spans 1994 to 2025. So it's had front wings by GT Spraying of Denmead. Again, they've done a great job. Where do they find these people that can do paint like that? I can never find anybody. My mates who are watching this who do paint will be going, that's it, Berry. You'd never darken my door again. There are some good people, but it's hard to get in, isn't it? They say, yeah, bring it at the end of next year. I'm busy. Get into that business. Old cars, painting old cars and welding. Yeah, learn to weld. Never mind that learn to code. All those smart Alex, I nearly said something else. Learn to code, man. Learn to weld. Yeah, you'll never be poor. We had a new speedo fitted on this one. The braking system's been fully overhauled. A number of works carried out, including, yeah, let's have a look inside. Hey, look at the interior in a Mini. Look at this, I'm going to get in. You knew I'd get in this, wouldn't you? There's something about a Mini. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, it's not just the central gauge cluster here. We've got a dashboard with, look at this, a modern CD player. You can charge your little mobile computer that you take everywhere with you, that you're watching me on now. You can charge it there. Got a sunshine roof. Look at that, pops out. My second car was a Mini, 850, in that sort of ochre colour. You know, the one that was like sort of, well, I remember there was baby food, there was mango, the same colour as Yeah. Always have mango in it, baby food. Don't know why. I can never eat a mango to this day. I love minis. Look at them wheels. Mini light, look, not mini light type wheels, actual mini light wheels. Very good tyres. I love it, it's my favourite so far. £4,500 to £5,500 on this, would you believe, 30-year-old. It's right at the end, but it's 30 years old. Rover Mini Sprite. As they say upstairs, charming, compact and collectible. Not me, the car. Another Mini. Right, it's the Italian job. Limited edition to as many as they could sell. Based on the film with the same name. So this is Mini Mayfair trim. So again, you don't get like seats that used to be in a Mini, you get big proper seats like that. Sporty as well, with the Italian job. The colours of the Italian, the tricolour on the steering wheel as well. I have noticed that this one's left on drive. I wonder where it's come from. It's obviously, well, it's come from Bournemouth. It says on the number plate, but I'm not sure that they drive on the left in Bournemouth. I know it's near Europe, Bournemouth, but it's not that near. Right, so, sold in Italy. Yeah, sold in Italy. Has it got a KMH Speedo? Let me have a look. It has, yes. Thus leading credence to that assertion that it was originally sold in Italy. It's obviously been registered over here now, and we've got, we've got the V5C, and we've got British number plates and all that carry on. The paintwork's not bad. There are some scratches and a few marks consistent with the age of the car. I do like those wheels. We've got a series of documents detailing the restoration and maintenance. It's showing just under 75,000 kilometres since 1993. The paint is very good. It's the 1.3, by the way, this one. So that'd be 1.3. Would it be on carburetor as a fuel injection by this time? 1993. Don't quote me on that one. Because I'll probably go, it can't possibly have been on carburetors. Yeah, it was. So it's the 1.3, just under 75,000 kilometres. 4-speed manual, and that 1300cc engine, just under 50 brake horsepower. That's all you need to have fun in one of these. Just think how much fun you could be joining the Self-Preservation Society. It was only meant to blow the bleeding doors off. That's not bad for a Lancastrian, is it? Come on. Anyway, 5,000 to £7,000 on the 1.3, not really, 1275, Mini Italian job. Morris Minor, don't mind if I do. Two former keepers since 1968. Look at it, 1968, but it's a car of the 50s really, isn't it? It doesn't, it was in production for so long, it was so successful because it was such a good car. Britain's first really practical, full-sized family car. People will say, what about the Austin 7? It's like a child's toy now, if you see. I love them, by the way, and the Austin 7 did kickstart Britain's dominance of motor racing through the 750 racing of old Austin 7s and all that. All those guys came up, John Cooper, Colin Chapman, Jack Brabham, all those people. I know Jack Brabham's not British. One of our friends from the Commonwealth, of course. What a lovely thing. Two former keepers, as I say. A lifetime of careful, considerate custodianship, it says here. It's like the good old days. He don't remember the good old days, this fella. Leonard Sachs, stranger to him. White with an attractive thin red coach line, true, and it's in very good condition, the paint. I wouldn't say white, I'd say cream. That's definitely cream, but it is lovely. The paint was great on these. Sometimes a Minor, it looks all right from here, but when you get to here, you're like, oh dear, not so great. This one's even good up close. Very straight, as we say. Look at that. The glass has been etched there, so you don't need to worry about thieves who are targeting your Miner. That sounds like I'm making light of it, but they'll nick anything these days, won't they? Powered by the reliable 1100cc engine, this four-door saloon benefits from an after-sales service. How fantastic! I'm not sure why they've written that down. That was completed on the 11th of November 1968. See, don't say we don't give you all the details. It's just lovely. Let's have a look inside this one. Look at that. Have a good old look at that. The lap of luxury. It is not. But this is what motorised, this is what put Britain on the road. Before this, cars were unaffordable. Watch any old sitcom or movie. People had to drive like a booble car, or like put a big mad double adult Buzzmar sidecar strap it to their XJS, carrying a family of four down the road and all the shopping. Isigonis, not just the Mini Isigonis, the Miner, genius, put Britain on the road. You could be on the road in this one, we reckon, for between £4,000 and £6,000. Come here. The car that put Britain on the road, what about the car that put Italia on the road? I love this car. Look how much space. Right, I'm going to open the door because, and again, look at this. This is the genius of the greatest car designer that's ever lived. Not Ian Callum, who I'm going to drink with next week. Not Peter Stevens, who I also know, great guy, but an Italian gentleman, Giorgetto Giugiaro, who designed this car. Look at this. How clever is that? Never mind a big, mad, expensive handle. If you were Fiat, that saved you, I was going to say millions of lira, but that's only about enough to buy, like, dinner for two with a bottle of wine, isn't it? Millions of pounds. Look how much room there is inside this tiny car. How is there that much room inside? Crazy. I'll tell you why. Because the bloke that designed it was a genius. Again, saving money on a flat windscreen, flat glass for the windscreen. And instead of a dashboard, just like some padded stuff and a binnacle here, like in the original Mini. Anyway, enough of the genius of the design. It's a 1986 Fiat Panda 1000S. Time warp, it says here. It's no reserve, this one. Oh, Berry, don't get high on your own supply. I am sorely tempted. You'd think, do you not want one of those big, mad, sporty things? I've had big, mad, sporty things. And if you haven't had one, we've got some absolute belters coming up in this sale. What I would say is, I've done that, but I haven't half got a hankering for one of these. I drove another one recently, and I have to say, as utterly mint as this one is, the one that I drove was better, and it was a 4x4. But it was the result of a complete madman who'd just thrown endless money at a Fiat Panda. Somebody has done a sympathetic restoration, or perhaps he said reading the notes. Some people say I should read them beforehand. I think it takes away some of my, spontaneity. Or perhaps it's done 24,000 miles from new, like it says here. Yeah, just look at this. Let me show you. See, so you've got that padded roll there, and in here, get this, you've got a sliding, he said confidently, a sliding ashtray. You can think, oh, do you need to, because obviously, do you need to use the ashtray? Oh, now I need the ashtray. I'm going to move it down here. There, because I smoke left-handed. Fantastic. And this all cost pennies. Pennies. And they made millions of them. Brilliant. Italy's Mini. Every bit as innovative, every bit as great-looking, stylish, an everyman car. I love it. No reserve. The 86 Fiat Panda, 1 litre S, and it's got that'll be the fire engine, F-I-R-E. Not a fire engine like ding-a-ling-a-ling and it's painted red. The Fire, F-I-R-E engine, 1000cc. Fiat Panda, no reserve. Oof, there'll be interest in this. Definitely, absolutely. 2014, they'll be interested in this for entirely different reasons. 2014 Tiger HS6 Lotus 6 Evocation. 2014, you say, Berry? Yes, I do. because it's an Evocation. It's not a Lotus 6, which would have been way back in the day, wouldn't it? One of the earliest cars that Chapman, the genius of Colin Chapman, I think the greatest British car maker, cleverest, you know, a controversial man in many respects, but he was also stylish. He could wear a polo neck jumper and a fisherman's cap and look cool. I can't. Wish I could. Founded in 1989, Wisbech Bakes Tiger Sports Cars produced a range of diverse road and racing cars. Since 2023, they've been owned by an Italian company and traded under the name ERA, English Racing Automobiles. That's disgraceful. What, the Italians have bagged that? I didn't know that. This was created by Tiger Cars as a tribute to the 1950s Lotus 6, which was Colin Chapman's first production car. His first cars were race cars or provided in kit form to other enthusiasts. This was the first production car. It was sold in kit form. People who bought the kit could fit their choice of engine and gearbox, making it eligible for numerous racing formulae. This is a 2014 factory-built Evocation car. Despite being just over 11 years old, it's got a lot of period charm and patina, because look at this, it's done all sorts of competitions. It's been to Cadwell Park, it's been to Snetterton, it's been back to Cadwell Park, and then back to Cadwell Park again. Mind you, Cadwell Park is a beautiful but tricky. I came off at Charlie's, ended up in, I'm trying to think what that hospital there is, Louth General. Yeah, Louth General. Having my shoulder pop back in. Yeah, anyway, but I still love Cadwell Park, and so did this guy. Look at that tiny steering wheel. And the winner of Vintage Sports Car Club, the winner of smallest steering wheel goes to the bloke with the 2014 Tiger HS6. White with a contrasting black nose cone. It's got an Austin 1100cc block, twin SU carburetors, 2 former keepers. Starts and runs well, whether you're heading to the track or taking on the winding country roads. Summer is coming. Get ready with this 2014 Tiger HS6. It's got that number on the V5C. It's road legal, just in case you're wondering. It's got that number, but it is non-transferable. Don't think, oh, I'll buy that and I'll sell the number. No, the number is on this car and it's staying on this car, not us, according to DVLA. We're just reporting, we're just giving you the information. So there you go. Built 11 years ago, looks like it was built 60 years ago. A lovely thing, eligible for all sorts of competition or just have fun for between £10,000 and £11,000. Don't forget, there are fees to pay, whether you're buying or selling. All of the details are available on our website, Manor Park Classics. 2017 Chevrolet Camaro 6.2 litre V8 50th anniversary package. And what a package. Oh yeah, listen to this. 455 brake horsepower. Handily, for me to remember, 455 feet-pounds of torque. 7-speed manual gearbox. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. For such a big car. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Wow. It's done 30,000 miles, just a little bit more than 30,000 miles, since 2017. 2 former keepers. It's got an extensive service history, easy for me to say, and comes in Nightfall grey metallic with unique 20-inch aluminium alloy wheels and special wheel centre caps, 50th anniversary wheel centre caps. Inside, can we get in? The cabin, as it says, is finished. Look at this in here. Very serious, very masculine, isn't it? Look at that. Inside the cabin is finished in black leather with suede trim seating featuring orange contrast stitching extending across the dashboard, the door panels and the steering wheel, and you get the 50th anniversary sill plates, the all-important sill plates. The vendor describes the vehicle as excellent to good. It is. The paintwork is exceptional. The wheels are... I'm funny with wheels, mate. I love to get down and give them a good feel. The wheels are very good. Powder coated they look to me. They're in very good condition. Look how big they are. Are they 20 inch these? Are they 20 inches? Goodness me. Look at the size of those bad boys. Absolutely fantastic. 455 brake horsepower. And it's 2+2. Let me have another look inside. Just see how much real room there is in the back. Right, not a lot. However, well, there's not a lot of leg room, but it's a full-size seat, because that's the Americans for you. There'll be none of what the Italians or we might try and get away with. The seat it's a full-size four-seater, but you'd have to kind of sit forward in the front. So in many ways, a family car. I've never owned a Camaro, although I did have a Ford truck with a Camaro front clip, i.e. all the front business with the chassis mated together. So all the suspension brakes from a Camaro Z28. Yeah, it was quite handful. I loved it and hated it at the same time. Here's a car you could just love if this is your thing, because this is just about as wild as it gets. 6.2 litre V8, 455 brake horsepower, unmarked paintwork, absolutely fantastic. Not a chip, not a scratch, not a ding on the wheels. Fantastic tyres, virtually brand new. Are these Pirellis or Continentals? I'll bet you've heard of whoever made these. I can't see because they're black and it's dark. But they're in, the Goodyear tyres, in fantastic condition, virtually brand new. 26 to 30,000 pounds. Remember, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, 455 brake horsepower. 26 to 30,000 pounds, the estimate, on the 2017 Chevrolet Camaro 50th anniversary edition. What a package! I say again, the car, not me. Now, something rather special. An Aston Martin. I love this colour. Reminiscent of Astons of the 60s, of course. And if you were making an Aston Martin in 2003, reminds me of DB4 GT. The Zagato cars were painted this colour from the 60s. I love it. 2003 Aston Martin DB7 Vantage Volante automatic, a Boulevardier, a cruiser. The current owner bought the vehicle from a fellow resident near to where he lives, where it had stood for in excess of 10 years, i.e. it hadn't been used. Finished in Aston Martin Racing Green, which is what they call this colour. Not British Racing Green, Aston Martin Racing Green. And a contrasting interior, a complementary interior with green and tan. Look at this, it's even got a green hood. This Volante, which of course is what Aston Martin would call their convertible cars. So a green hood with a, is that Alcantara or suede? Lined soft top. Beautifully done, if you like that sort of thing, and I do. I'm sure there are many of you who do as well. The vendor has spent £10,000 in these last few months recommissioning this car and getting it through an MOT. There are some areas on the car that require attention. The horrible rot has managed to get in a few places. I can see some here by the rear quarter light. There's a bit of grot there on the windscreen surround. The windscreen wipers need either refurbishing or better still replacing, which would imagine wouldn't be too expensive or difficult to do, having a look at the complicated mechanism and realising that that might be nonsense and it'd be better to just clean them up. And there's a bit here as well. But forget all of that, because the odometer reached 33,000 miles. We've got maintenance and service history to back that up. And the estimate on this. Now, these are words that don't normally go together. 2003 Aston Martin DB7 Vantage, so it's the powerful engine, Vantage Volante. They only built just over 2,000, and only 780 were right-hand drive, like this one. The estimate is, it's starting with 4 figures, 8,000 to 10,000 pounds. Now, I'm not saying you'll never see another one. It's a rare car, like we said. They only made 2,000 and just under 800 were right-hand drive. But you'll never see a cheaper one. And all that time it was standing around, it wasn't being used. It's only done 33,000 miles in 23 years. So not much more than like, what, 1,100 miles a year for the amount of time it's been around. And yes, that badge has got a little bit of wear and tear on it. There's a little bit of rot there, a few places around the car, but the paintwork, it does not need a respray. It does not need a respray. Don't do that. It just needs an expert to go around and give it a bit of a lift in a couple of places. It is only 2 or 3 places on the car. It's a beautiful colour. The interior's great. Again, because it's such low mileage, hardly any wear and tear to that gorgeous interior. Where would you get an Alcantara lined soft top on an Aston Martin? Imagine you could own this car for 4 figures. Kind of, if it's the lower end of the estimate, because there are fees on top of these estimates, of course, for both buyers and for vendors, for sellers in our auction here at Manor Park, at Barron's Manor Park in Southampton this Saturday. £8,000 to £10,000 we think, but there's already been, as you'd imagine, a lot of interest in that car. I keep saying these are great, and this one's a good one. A member of Guildford Golf Club. That's what you want to see on a car like this, isn't it? You look round it and you think, oh, was he a member of the golf club? He certainly was. 2023 to 2024. Established in 1886, Guildford Golf Club. Some of you will be going, oh, it's like a council one. You can just rock up and it's no big deal, but it looks good. They've got a lovely crest of arms. Jaguar hit their stride, as it says here, with the XKR Coupe and convertible. Look where they are now, eh? Controversial. Marking a turning point for the brand. The Americans like this, and of course America was always a big market for Jaguar. What a gorgeous car. Beautiful. Love it. Mr. Ian Callum, that gifted Scotsman, doing his best work on this design, I think. Absolutely gorgeous. This, of course, is the supercharged one. So it's got lots and lots of power from that. Is it a 5 litre or a 5.2 on one of these? Tell me in the comments. Big V8. Lunar grey with an ivory leather interior, 2 former keepers, all kinds of refinements. These great looking massive alloy wheels, which have had some hammer and need a refurb. The tyres though are very good. Big Dunlop, brand new tyres. I'm having a good old feel down there into the tread. These tyres are very recent. Look at the size of them. Again, the wheels, they need a refurb. You could do that yourself, or it's not that expensive to get it done. Could do with some centre caps. XK, Jaguar XKR, and the old Prowler or Growler, or whatever you want to call it there. A few cosmetic imperfections, as it said. The headlining's been pinned on one side. Yeah. Headlining on these, although the seats, the wheel, I do love that. What are we calling that? We're calling it oatmeal or biscuit. It says ivory. Ivory? I think ivory's whiter than that, isn't it? Yeah, I'd say light tan. Oatmeal, perhaps. I'll tell you what, it is lovely. I love these perforated leather seats. So comfortable as well. I've done a lot of miles in these, and I love them. It's a big car, a lot of road presence, a fantastic high-speed cruiser, a true Grand Tourer, a true GT, and might be yours for £8,000 to £9,000. The wireless key fobs need repairing with the car. It can be started using the key fob slot. Repairing is a straightforward job for a specialist. Yes, I know, pretty straightforward and inexpensive to do. Imagine owning a car like this for between £8,000 and £9,000. Wow. 13 stamped entries, 10 of which are from the main dealer. Cruise control, automatic transmission, independent left-right climate control, ABS, electric windows, blah, 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 blah. Nearly 20 years old now. And in 4 figures, the estimate. You wouldn't have thought it. Great car, beautiful car, elegant car. Mind you, people keep saying that these are going to be the next collectible. I think that's already happened. I don't think there's any need for me to say, doesn't James May keep banging on about XJSs these days when he's not talking about gin? He's trying to sell gin, isn't he? I think. Don't pay too much attention, I have to say. But I do pay attention to things like this. XJS 4 litre manual, the gentleman's sports car, but get this one walks this way, maybe you go around there. Look at that, something you don't often see. What you do see a lot of the time inside a Jaguar XJS is lots and lots of lovely leather. These seats are in fantastic condition. I love the colour. You see a handbrake down here instead of being in the middle. But what you don't see is this, because look, a manual gearbox in an XJS 4-litre manual. Finished in British Racing Green, grain red pinstriping, a cream leather interior we're calling that, which is in great condition. It has done, does it tell me here? Let me have a look. I'll see if I can see for you. 114,000 miles since 1994. The paint is in good condition. It needs some attention from a specialist. Yeah, there are a few marks here and there, but otherwise, it's obviously been redone at some... Surely it's been redone at some point. Maybe not. It's not perfect. And again, I don't know whether you should have one of them on an XJS, because I think that's enough. I think this goes on a saloon car, and this isn't a saloon car, it's a GT, a 2+2. It's the later facelifted model, he said confidently, going round the back. Yes. Private registration number, of course. Again, a bit of wear and tear on these plastic badges. I'm sure they're easily replaced if that causes you a problem. And as I said, the paint, although good, does need some attention. The interior is in absolutely fantastic order. Mechanically, the car is described as sound, was driven to this auction without any problems or issues. It has a valid MOT until February next year and has passed its most recent test with no advisories. You lot know that. It's like, it's all very well a car having an MOT, but let's go along to the MOT history record at .gov and find out the long list. They often very... I bought a car recently. It ran to a third page of advisories. That was, even though it passed the third page. It was really two. It just tipped onto the third page. This car has passed its MOT with no advisories. 9 to 11, the days of good, cheap XJSs are gone. They're fetching stronger money now. Not really strong money by any stretch of the imagination, but what a car. Find another one like that with a manual gearbox, 4-litre engine, of course, straight six, none of that V8 business. 4-litre straight six, he said confidently, wanted to pop the hood and make sure it's not V8. No, it's the 6. I had the saloon version of this same year. That's right, of course it is. What am I thinking? I'm an idiot. Put it in the comments. You're an idiot, Berry. 114,000 miles, 9 to 11,000 pounds on the Jaguar, or Jaguar, as Jay Leno would say. Not having a go, Jay, but it's Jaguar. Jaguar 4.litre manual XJS, the gentleman's sports car with a clutch. What a lovely, lovely car. 2001 Jaguar XKR, yes, it's the XKR. It's got the louvres that give the game away. Did it have driving lamps and the standard 5-litre didn't? It's not a 5-litre, it's a 4-litre. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's the 4-litre with the 5-speed automatic transmission. It's the supercharged one, he said, running round the back. Yeah, XKR. So it's 4-litre supercharged. 4 former keepers, 65,000 miles since 2001. The exterior is very good. There are a few stone chips, it says here. I'm going to try and find them. Where? Stone chips, you say? It's not Concours, but it's not far off. The interior has a cream leather seats, front and rear. Yeah, they've had a bit of wear. You see the creams, so they're showing the wear and oh, I do like this. I do like this dashboard in sort of a, what are we calling that? Unusual sort of wood effects. I like it. It looks great. 2+2, of course. There's not that much room in the back, but you get a couple of kids in there or the shopping or whatever. Yeah, it's worn, but it's not worn through. There are no splits, there are no tears. It's just, you know, it's had a life. Still keeping the handbrake on that side, Jaguar. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's been looked after. It's 25 years old now, quarter of a century. A nice example, 4-litre, 5-speed automatic, driven here, 4 former keepers, comes with a book pack, stamp service book, And an MOT is currently being done on the vehicle. Is there a man underneath it or something? Look, no. Inside is nice. The car had a new battery fitted just recently. That's all we know, except the estimate, £5,000 to £6,000. What a beautiful car for that amount of money. That's the estimate. I did find some stone chips. There's one there. But otherwise, great. Everything you'd expect for next to no money. Wow, look at this. Come on, serious business. 2002 Mercedes SL55 AMG. Supercharged V8 performance combined, it says here, with everyday usability, and it's a convertible. So you're getting, these aren't 2+2, these are two-seaters. Mercedes went, I was going to do like my comedy German accent, which always sounds very camp for some reason, because when I'm doing the German accent, I always affect. Yeah, it's camp, isn't it? I've noticed, that's why I don't do it. Hand-assembled 5.4 litre supercharged V8 delivers effortless power. They're not wrong either. I've driven these. They're just phenomenal. They're a lot quicker than you think. You look at it and you think, yeah, it's a two-seater convertible and it's a reasonably large car. It's going to be a bit soft. It's going to be a bit wafty. It's going to be a bit boulevardier. 9, mein friend, 9. It's not. It's a proper fast thing, this. The car presents excellently. It does. I can't work out if it's a really, really dark purple colour or black. I'm going to ask the camera person who's young and has better eyes than me. Dark, really, really dark purple, yay or nay? No. Black? The nod. Yeah. Whatever, it's mint. Let's go here, do what I do, have a good feel down here, look for problems, look for issues, look for cracks. Look for things that are missing or have fallen off. Look for all kinds of wear here that might tell us it's had a harder life than it professes to have had. No, sir. No, sir. It's mint. How's it in this condition after nearly 25 years on the road? And how many miles? Let's have a look here. It'll be digitalis, so if it's not written down in the notes, I won't be able to tell you. The car presents very well, as we say, a few stone chips, not really. Nothing significant. The car, oh, the back light's cracked. Really? It's great that they put these things down so that everyone knows if there are problems, but when I can't find what those problems are, right, okay, so, right, look, there, this is that. They're going, oh, the back light's cracked, you're going to have to get that sorted. Like, you'd notice that, but it's in the notes, which is why I'm telling you. Comes with a strong service history. It's got a long MOT until this time next year. The electric folding roof is fully functional. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. What a car. Automatic, of course, but with every conceivable extra you could possibly imagine. See, this is what Mercedes do that the others do. I'm guessing that this binnacle here, which tells you about revs and maximum speed on the highway, etc. I'm guessing that there were reflections in the windscreen here that bothered the driver. The solution, cover it in suede. Then there won't be annoying reflections. A very Mercedes. I love these seats. They look great. Black, what about the colour of the interior? Again, there's a greenish tinge to it. Yeah? No, he's like, Madberry, what do you mean greenish tint? They're like a silvery colour, yeah? Silvery, yeah. Yeah. No part of me is getting any younger, especially the eyes. You know, most of life is just a blur. Yeah, silver leather, black exterior, looks like it could do a job, in great condition. Performance, practicality, the folding roof works perfectly. You're going to think, that's going to be big money. What about the wheels? Are they in good nick? Yeah, they're good. Tyres, Continentals, proper tyres. Oh, has it been lowered? There's not much clearance there. Yeah, there's plenty of meat on those tyres. £13,000 to £15,000. Scarcely believable. That's got to be the bargain so far. Come on, look at it. £13,000 to £15,000 is our estimate in this sale. In our sale, the March sale here at Barons Manor Park. Supercharged V8, oh, phenomenal. Nothing. 13 to 15,000 pounds. SL55 AMG, hand-built 5.5 litre V8, supercharged. Bargain. Another high-performance car that offers XFR performance. Part of the high-performance XFR range, I think these were like 500 horsepower. Developed by Jaguar Cars, the celebrated 5 litre, yeah, supercharged. Was that the Coyote motor? Tell me in the comments. 5 litre V8, Ford derived, I would imagine. 5 litre supercharged AJ V8. 503 horsepower. Yeah, you're wrong. It's not 500, it's 503. 503 and 461 foot-pounds of torque. Genuine super saloon pace. M5 killer. An M5 killer. The 2011 Jaguar XFR V8 Auto. The service book has 10 stamps showing consistent maintenance. Starts well, runs strongly. Very straight. Again, I go all round the car, looking for problems, looking for issues. A panel that isn't quite the same colour as the others. Do I see anything? No, I do not. I just see a beautifully presented car offering phenomenal performance. Looks great in white with the black wheels and the black tape windows and the black leather interior. 10 grand will be the middle on this one. And there's a car which, if it had a BMW badge on the front and an M5 badge on the back, would be 2.5 times that. So why is it so cheap? I don't know, but it is. It seems like an awful lot of car for the money. The Jaguar XFR V8 Auto, 503 brake horsepower. Wow. 9 to 11,000. Don't forget about the fees, by the way. I say these are estimates. That's what we think the hammer will fall at. But then there are fees if you're buying or selling. Look on the website instead of moaning in the comments. Yeah, look on the blinking website. You can have a moan if you want. I love it. Feel free, moan away, moan to your heart's content. I don't read it. I do. I read them all. Yeah, I read them all. Here's my favourite. Come over here. When I got here today, Tony, the head gobbin round here, that's what we say up north. It's not derogatory. He said, I won't do the accent because that will offend him. He said, there's a car down there, Barry, and it's a bit of you. And he said, and the thing is, it's also a bit of me. Because I know what he's like. He's like me. He likes the weird stuff. He likes something a bit out of the ordinary, a bit special. And this is a bit special and very much out of the ordinary. A 1960 Berkeley T60 three-wheeler with a 328cc two-stroke motorbike engine underneath there. Oh, here we go. It's open. I'll show you the 328cc twin-cylinder motorbike engine. There it is. An Excelsior motorbike, two-stroke. Advanced for the time, they only made 1800, lightweight composite monocoque. Yeah, so it's a monocoque, like a Lotus at the time, 1960. A transverse engine, front-wheel drive. You'd think, oh, a three-wheeler with 2 wheels at the front, 1 at the back, there'll be a chain that runs the length of it and all. No, front-wheel drive. Fully independent suspension, twin wishbones at the front, coil-sprung dampers all round. This is, I know it looks like a toy, a lovely toy, but it is a proper sports car. Amazing technology for 1960. It's covered 16,000 miles, this one. It's MOT exempt, of course, but it had a recent MOT in 2017, passed with 0 advisories. There is, it says here, micro blistering on the paintwork. Kind of, but I don't think paint was ever this good on a little fiberglass car like this. Look at this, external door hinges and a completely, I was going to say a completely flat screen. That's not a flat screen, it's curved. What am I talking about? Seats look quite accommodating. It's got reverse. You'd think, oh, has it got a motorbike engine and like a sequential gearbox? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. But, cleverly, it's got reverse. Tony, who I've just mentioned before, said that he remembers a fella around this part of the world, Southampton since you ask, who had one of these and he had to open that and kickstart it. He had to kickstart, he had to reach in and kickstart it. But this one's got electric start, so you don't have to do that. Could be a bit embarrassing, that, couldn't it? What a car. It was driven here to the auction venue. And I'll tell you what, it was driven here by somebody with a smile on their face. You know, we've got all sorts of cars in here. They've got hundreds of horsepower. Fantastic technology. But look what we had in the UK in 1960. Somebody had the gumption to put together a lovely, affordable sports car with a powerful engine, lightweight, monocoque construction. No one was doing, well, Lotus. Apart from Lotus, nobody else was doing that at the time. Monocoque in fiberglass. It's an Excelsior Talisman engine, 4-speed manual with reverse, 16,000 miles from new, £4,000 to £5,000. If you don't like that, we can't be friends. Sorry. Not that you want to be. You're thinking, well, that's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned. You might like this though. This might be more your cup of tea. BMW Z3 Roadster. Well-preserved Z3. This is the wide one, isn't it, that everyone's banging on about? Yeah, saying, oh, grab one of these while you can. But if you're getting one, get the wide body. Atlanta, no, it's not. It can't be because it's 2 litre. Again, get in the comments. That's not a wide body, you idiot. It was the bulge up here at the front because this was BMW's retro Roadster. And people at the time said, oh, it's not as good as an MX-5. It's not as immediate. It's not as involving. It wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be halfway between an MX-5 and a Mercedes SL. So not a sports car, but not as raw as an MX-5. More sophisticated, more grown up. Hence the retro looks, which kind of have echoes of BMWs from the 50s and 60s, before the bubble cars and all that kind. When they made the 507, I've driven one of them. Not many people have driven a 507, I have. Not Elvis's, John Surtees 507, yeah. The one that sold for crazy money. I drove it. I haven't driven this one, but I'll tell you what, it's got a very good service history. Well, it's only done 35,000 miles since 1998. Is it 1998 when these were everywhere? Very successful and popular car for BMW. This one is in apple pie order. Look at it. They often aren't, especially the 2 litre like this. It's a 2 litre automatic. It's got heated seats. It's got traction control, ASC, yeah. Look at that, fantastic. The seats are in great order. Well, they would be. Oh, no, hold on a second. There's a bit of wear on the bolster there on the driver's seat. Yeah. The accompanying paperwork includes an MOT test certificates and the current V5C. Yeah, like it says here, the colour of the interior complements the colour of the exterior very well. Sometimes it doesn't on these. Hood's in good order. Paint's fantastic. Wheels are great. Tyres are all very good. Plenty, not new, but plenty of life left in them. And the estimate on these, not as cheap as you might think, because you might have been used to seeing these on Facebook Marketplace for like 1,500 quid. Well, not this one, because they're not going to be anywhere near as nice as this one. They've probably got a 1 in front of the mileage, which you'd find on the odometer on this car. 35,000 miles, 2 litre, 4-speed automatic, good service history. £5,000 to £6,000 is our estimate of where the hammer will fall on Saturday. Now, I was talking about the Berkeley, and here's its big brother. Here's the real thing, the real deal. One of the greatest cars ever made. Oh, yes. A proud Borsberry, you say. Well, it just is, isn't it? 1969 Lotus S4 Black Badge. Special edition. One of the best and finest handling sports cars of its era. I would go further. One of the best and finest handling cars of any era. Vibrant yellow with a black leather interior, or is it vinyl? The very hand detects vinyl, although the lads have put leather. With its backbone chassis, fiberglass body and a lively twin-cam engine, the Elan remains one of the finest handling sports cars of its era, a benchmark frequently cited for steering feel and chassis balance. It's an Elan, a 69 Elan Black Badge Special. There is blistering on the paintwork. There is. You can see it there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, because perhaps the camera sort of... There's one there, there's one there. There is some blistering on the paintwork. you could get to work on that. Don't repaint it, please. Don't erase the history of this car. Just get it sorted out or do it yourself. Yeah. Fiberglass cars. Lads out there that do paint will be going, yeah, fiberglass cars. It's a black art painting these. This isn't perfect, but it's very good. The wheels are great. The interior's fantastic. You've got Colin Chapman's signature there. Oh, look at that. I love the interior on these. It's kind of, it's very masculine. For which on the exterior, it's quite a feminine, a pretty car. But what a car. What a car to drive. People think, oh, they're overrated. Then you drive one and you think, they are underrated. Mechanically, the car has had regular use, ongoing maintenance, supported by extensive documentation that we've got going back to 1979, when, of course, this car was 10 years old. Increasingly collectible. They always will be. One of the greatest cars of all time. You think, like, a Ferrari Dino from the same year. Were Dinos out in 69 or was it 70? Again, get in the comments. Put me right, I know you love it. Think how much a Dino goes for now. This was its equivalent, and I think better. I've driven Dinos. They're not as engaging. They're not very fast, truthfully. People go, oh, what do you mean not very fast? They're just not. These aren't super fast, but I think it's a more engaging car. It's British, and this is the black badge one. Great colour combination as well. Vibrant yellow with the black interior. Wonderful. Think how much Dinos go for. Crazy money. Our estimate on this one this Saturday, £16,000 to £18,000. One of the greatest cars of all time. No mirrors. No mirrors. How do you see what's behind you? Everything's behind you when you're in one of these. Yeah. Love it. What a car. Paint needs sorting. Oh. Alfa Romeo Spider Veloce, you say? On a K plate with the cam tail and the 2-litre twin cam engine. Yeah, the car I've owned for the longest amount of time. 30 plus years I had mine. Same year, same design, same engine, right-hand drive like this one with a wood steering wheel. That's that distinctive aluminium spokes and wood steering wheel. Mine was blue with a red interior. This one's red with a black interior. But this one is in much, much better condition than mine ever was. This is a beautiful car that's been maintained without any regard for cost. Absolutely gorgeous thing. 5-speed, twin cam. I wonder what it's running. Do you know what? I'm going to have a look. Because, uh-oh, I think something's broke there. It's an Alfa, what do you expect? Is this going to come up? Great. There's me saying how fantastic it is. Come on, try again. No, that's... Ah, right, hold on. It's an Alfa, of course it's a little bit broken. You got to give it some love. Hold on. I can do this. I'm familiar with the issues. He said not doing it. Right, well, that needs sorting, the bonnet release. I just wanted to show you the beauty and see whether it was running on like... Mine was on speaker, SPICA, mechanical fuel injection. But of course, because it made mechanics that I know cry, we got rid of that and put it on Del Autos. They're usually on Webers, on twin Del Autos. It sounded fantastic. You have to replace these because they go all weird and yellow and they crack and stuff like that. These are proper ones, look. Capello with all the part number and everything on it. Stainless steel these are. This car was just way, way better than the other stuff. I remember I drove mine, like I said, same year, same spec, blue with a red interior instead of red with a black interior. I drove it to some event. It might have even been Goodwood. And I remember a bloke pulling up nose on to me in an MGB Roadster. I'm not having a go at MGB Roadsters. Same year. I've had a GT, I haven't had a Roadster. I'm not having a go at him, but he pulled up. And as we both got out, he went, snap! Same year as this. I went, no, I don't think so. This is a much more advanced car. Disc brakes, 5-speed gearbox, way more power from that twin cam than you get from the lump, he said with respect, that's in an MGB. I like MGBs, but they're not these. This is halfway to a Ferrari. There, I've said it. UK supplied from new. There's a valuation letter issued by Southern Alfa in 1999 that confirmed the car underwent an extensive restoration at that time. The paintwork presents very well. It does. It's gorgeous. Mine was never anywhere near as good as this. The interior is described as excellent. The car described as running and driving at the time of consignments. These wheels, I don't know if these are original Alfa. I think these are aftermarket Zender wheels. I had the Turbina alloys on mine, which were standard on the Montreal, but optional. There were 2 optional alloy wheels. Most Alfa Spiders of this era came with steel wheels and chrome hubcaps. These wheels look fantastic. They are shod with Dunlop tyres, which have the correct height of sidewall, so it looks proper in the wheel arch and everything. I am in love. Bellissima. Bellissimo, in fact. What a car. Vinyl, not leather. This was an affordable car. It was unbelievably cheap for what you got at the time. 2+2, again, that's UK spec. The American spec ones just had a bit of a bench in the back. They didn't expect Americans to get in the back. No leg room, really. Get kids in the back. My kids rolled in the back of mine. Oh, I love it. Not as cheap as you'd think. There was a time when these were unloved and rusty ones went for no money. This one is one of the best I have ever seen. 15 to 16,000 pounds. I wasn't surprised at that estimate. Don't think, oh, that's strong for one of them. This one is exceptional. And this is why I say, if you can possibly get down here to our sale at Barron's in Southampton, please do come if you're seriously thinking of buying, because then you would see just how good this is. I restored mine twice. Full restoration, 30 years. I mean, new floors twice. They were that bad for rusting. Yes, they were terrible. That's why Italian cars got their reputation. They were. But this one is just perfect. Wow. Come and see it if you can. If you can't, register to bid online. 15 to 16,000 pounds. 1972 Alfa Romeo 2000 Veloce Spider. The name, everything about it. I love it. Oh. I feel like an oik standing next to it. Do I look like an oik standing next to it? He's nodding again. Yeah, you do. I should have dressed up, shouldn't I? Possibly put on a cravat. Or an ascot, as the Americans would call it. 1994 Bentley Continental R. Wow, it's 30-year-old. It's 30 plus, this one now. At the time of launch, the Continental R was the fastest, most expensive and most powerful car that Bentley had ever made. It was said to be the most expensive production car in the world. The Sultan of Brunei bought the show car for 2 million of your English pounds. This one is finished in Aurora, which is a light metallic green. Again, is it green? He's puffing and blowing, the lad here. Is it green? It's a greyy green to me. I'll tell you what, it's very classy. It's not far from that Aston. It's not far from Aston Martin. Racing green. The cabin is trimmed in green with cream leather. Yeah. Oh, look at this inside. Look at inside this. I don't know if you're allowed in here. I don't know if I'm allowed in here. Look at this. So, the dashboard is leather. It's covered in leather. And the roof is covered in leather. And then in the back, you've got this contrasting tan and green. There's leather everywhere. And where there isn't leather, there are gorgeous, deep, proper carpets. It's an automatic, of course. 19 service stamps in the book confirming consistent maintenance down the years. Previous long-term ownership, it's showing just over 50,000 miles on the odometer. I want to live inside this car. Is that okay with everybody? Can I live in here till Saturday? It's much nicer than my house. What a car. 19, you're going to think, wow, that's going to be big money. Look at it. Let's have a look at the outside again. Let's check the wheels and the tyres and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Proper Avon turbo speed tyres. with the correct massively high sidewalls. Great, massive wheels and tyres on what was a very fast, very luxurious car. The ultimate grand tourer for the man with more money than he can count, or indeed the woman with more money than she can count. I'll tell you like these. Rosemary Conley, do you remember her? The hip and thigh diet. She was everywhere at one time, wasn't she? I seem to remember her telling me at BBC Cheese and Wine. I used to be at the BBC, I never talk about it. Cheese and Wine shindig. I remember making small talk with her and Des Lynam. Again, the cameraman here's like, who are these people he's talking about it? When this was new in 1994, those two people were superstars, mate. Des Lynam and Rosemary Conley. I seem to remember her saying she was thinking of getting one of these, and I thought, how much money is there in diet books? Obviously a lot. Not now, but then. The paint is absolutely perfect. If we can just kind of pan across the expanse of the bonnet and the grille, you can see just how unmarked it seems to be. Having done, what did I say, just over 50,000 miles in 30 plus years. Where did they come from, these cars that we've got in our sale? I don't know, but they're here at Barron's in Southampton, and they are up for sale this Saturday. 31 to 33,000 pounds. Potentially, it could be yours. What a dream of a car. What a car. Don't look at that. There's an imperfection there. Somebody needs... I'll stand here till Saturday so people can't see that. I'll go, no, there is nothing wrong with it at all. Yeah, because you're like, a couple of quid to sort that out, wouldn't it? And then, perfection. What a car. Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 1, timeless luxury, careful ownership. First owner had it for 30 years, 3 former keepers since. I think I've got to get in this. It's got automatic transmission, aircon, alloy wheels. Yes, alloy wheels on a Rolls. Alloy wheels and hubcaps. Alloy wheels on a... No, I don't think so, lads. I think it's got steel wheels and hubcaps. So, a mark off there to the upstairs lot. But it's got everything else. It's a Rolls Royce. Look, shall I try and nick that and then it'll... No, don't touch it. I'll set an alarm off again. Sadly offered for sale due to the passing of its last owner, who had it for 25 years. Throughout its life, it's remained here in Southampton. Over the years, over £12,000 has been spent on maintenance and improvements. We have a detailed history of work accompanying the car. Recent notable work includes a gearbox repair and service just last year. New bumpers were fitted last year as well. Wheel balancing last year. Restoration of the woodwork, ignition coil replacement, master cylinder renewal, various services dating back to 2003. Now, when I were a lad, anybody who was anybody in the world of entertainment had one of these. Your Mike and Bernie Winters, your Mike Yarwood, Eric and Ernie, Engelbert Humperdinck, Tom Jones, they all had a shad like this, a Shadow 1. A lot of car, a lot of car. And again, 4 figures, not 6 figures, 4 figures. £8,000 to £9,000. Look at those. It seems you've got to look in the back. Never mind the luxury that you find in the front. Come and have a look here in the back. Oh, it's locked. Look at those sheepskin rugs. Kick your shoes up. You can imagine John Collins in the back there. Again, somebody else you haven't heard of. But in 1972, John Collins, in the back of there, doing that with the painted toenails in those sheepskin rugs. Fabulous. How is this so cheap? This was unimaginable luxury for most people back in the day. And now, what, 50 odd years down the road, £8,000 to £9,000, and what a road. Spider there, lucky. Look, money spider. Money spider. So that's good luck for somebody Probably not me and you, because it looks like it wants to bite me. I'm going to move my finger before it jumps onto me and sinks its tiny fangs. But that's a good sign, good omen if you buy that one. 1972 Silver Shadow 1. 30 years with 3 former keepers, all that money spent on it and all that work recently, and the estimate, 4 figures, 8 to 9,000. Chevrolet Corvette C4. Well, whoop-de-doo. Look at this. You don't often see them like this, black with a black interior. 1994 C4. That looks like it will come up, he said. Yeah, on one side. Pop-up headlights. So cool. 5.7 V8 automatic transmission. That number, L70 Vet Corvette, will come with the car. It's in very little use. It's only done 1,000 miles in the last 2 years. It's been resprayed black, as you can see, in the last year, but was black the original colour? Yes, it very much looks like it was, because all the bits like inside the door close there is black. So I would imagine that it was black on black to start with. We've got the original radio, if you want to put it back in and get rid of the modern sort of, you know, Apple Play or whatever it is, unit that's been fitted. It's had lots of work down the years. It passed its most recent MOT in October with 1 advisory, slight perishing to one of the tyres. These wheels need some work. They need a refurb to match the lovely paint job it's had recently. Receipts on file for servicing from 2005 to 2010. The service book does not contain stamps. Offered with a box of spares, new spark plugs, belts, tensioners, etc. A car cover to fit it would be supplied. I know that the car in Knight Rider wasn't a Corvette, but I'm trying to find out if the cameraman's heard of anything that happened. Knight Rider? No. Knight Rider, he had a magic car that could talk to him and it could do like all kinds of wild stuff. And it was like, it looked like that even though it wasn't a Corvette. I do know that the Knight Rider car, KITT, K-I-T-T, was not a Corvette. That is a Corvette. It's giving me a strong Knight Rider vibe. 8 to 10,000. Automatic, 5.7 litre V8, you know that. Just had a respray, wheels need doing, bit of cosmetic stuff, loads of spares come with it. Great. But maybe not as great as this. Depends, horses for courses, isn't it? If you're into the American car thing, are you in an American car club? Hello. If you're looking for one of the greatest cars of the 1990s, then perhaps this is it. I think so. BMW 840 Ci, a modern classic. Yeah, we're saying modern classic. Put it down. Porsche Boxster, yes. Early Boxster. BMW 840, yes. Calypso Red Metallic, 4.4 litre. Ooh, it's the 4.4 litre V8 M62 engine, just over 100,000 miles on it. It's had much expenditure on mechanicals since 2018 and in its current ownership. He purchased it last year but has had little opportunity to enjoy it and is willing to pass it on to a new enthusiast. Retrimmed headlining, bet that wasn't cheap. Brake fluid change, gearbox service, welding to the inner and outer sills, full cooling system overhaul, new radiator, new expansion tank, various hoses, fresh coolant. The sunroof, the sunshine roof seal has been replaced and rust treated, and the wheel arches present well. Somewhere on this driver's seat, what's it done, did we say? 108,000 miles? Yeah, the driver's seat could do with some love. Look at them wheels, fabulous. Oof. Michelin tyres, loads of meat on them. What a great colour. Oh, there's a bit of a problem with the paint back here. This spoiler at the back needs sorting out as well. Needs some love, this car. Yeah, there's an element of delamination on the windscreen. Soper of Lincoln, as in Steve Soper. I was talking about him yesterday, and I'll tell you a lot why in one of my future little chats, but yeah, it's done 108,000 miles. The guy that got it has done a lot of the difficult and expensive mechanical work. It's up to you to finish it off, but that's why it's cheap. with that 4.4 litre V8 M62 engine, automatic of course. What a car. I think the looks of this have aged really well. 4.4 litre V8, pillarless coupe, fabulous. 8 to 10,000 on the 96 BMW 840i. Now, what's this, you're saying? What even is it? I'll tell you what it even is. Wait till you see the seats in this. It's a Toyota Chaser. Oh, chase me. Again, who chased me? What was he called? Duncan Norvell. Chase me, he used to say. Don't chase me. Don't. 1998 Toyota Chaser. For drift, grip and daily enjoyment. A mid-size rear-wheel drive sedan, as our American friends. Look at them tyres stretched onto them rims like that. Like the young people do. Look at that. It's got all the style, hasn't it? Japanese fitted manual 6-speed gearbox conversion, Forza drifting. Fresh over from Japan, this one. Japanese built. They know what they're doing when they're building one of these drift cars. The vendor imported it. It's a very recent import. We have the car's first UK plate and a V5C. We've got the letter from HMRC and the Nova number on file. All the duties have been paid. You can come around here and have a look at these seats that I've been telling everybody about because they're rather special. They're not what you expect. You look at this and you think, oh, is it going to have like super duper carbon fibre sort of 4-point racing harness? No, sir. No. Instead, what you've got is luxurious velour. Look at that. I can't stop touching it. It's so comfy. Wow. And then you've got this like mad steering wheel and the sort of red, you know, you're going to be yanking on that eye up brake, aren't you, when you're giving it the old getting the back end out and all that business, because that's what these are all about. But also a family car. Loads of room in the back. Very practical. Bit low. Look at the body kit on it. Fantastic. And those wheels I just mentioned. 3-litre engine, as we said, rear-wheel drive, Blitz induction kit, new battery, new uprated radiator, custom exhaust with a 4.5-inch back box, coil-over suspension, 18-inch work Euro lined split wheels with these tyres. What are they? Some kind of Japanese. Yeah. People say that as in a disparaging way. I don't know, some sort of Japanese. Japanese are pretty good at technology and cars and motorbikes and tyres and all that business. Yeah, look at this. The Japan Cargo Tally Corporation. Oh, that must have been its shipping number and stuff like that when it was brought over. This is the real deal if you're into this sort of thing. 19 to 22,000 pounds on the 1998 Toyota Chaser, special purpose built 3-litre drift car, but also a car that you can use, all registered, all taxes and duties paid, all sorted out. Look at that front, damn. Wow, what a thing. Here we go. And now for something completely different. A Willys Jeep. Nicely restored wartime Jeep with long-term family ownership. First registered for UK roads and civilian use in 1946, having been sold as government surplus. How fantastic. With a chassis number falling in 1943, 95,000 of them were built last year. Of course, most of them were built by Ford, because Willys Overland weren't really in a position to although they were the ones that got awarded the US military contract for a troop carrying, go anywhere vehicle, they didn't have the production capacity, so all sorts of people built them, including the Ford Motor Company, who I think made the vast majority of them. 2 weeks from getting the instructions to tender for the contract to having a working prototype, Willys just adapted one of their standard cars and created one of the greatest vehicles ever made. I made a history of Jeep, 10 years ago. I drove the only 4-wheel steer one that's left. There's a 4-wheel steer Willys prototype that can turn in its own length. There's one. I drove the only half-tracked one that there was. They made 3, there's only 1 left. But what was most impressive about these was the absolute standard Willys Jeep, what a car, unbelievably competent off-road. Like you think, yeah, but not like a modern four-wheel drive. I am telling you, even in completely stock form, they will go anywhere and they are indestructible. Fantastic, what an icon. The gearbox, engine and running gear on this one were inspected. Worn and damaged components have been replaced. The tub, wings and bonnet all appear to be in good order. Its military history is undocumented. There's a comprehensive photographic file and written record of all the rebuild and all the maintenance work in 2 folders. Recently we've been resprayed in proper olive drab with red cross markings, as you can see. There's a new canvas hood here for this car. It's running on a 6-volt system with period correct dynamo and Carter carburetor. Not very well thought of, that carb. Although, very simple. And what I found was that a lot of the things that made the Jeep so great was that it could be mended in the field. It could be sorted out in the field of battle, you know, in a war zone by soldiers. You didn't necessarily need to be a mechanic. That was why simplicity, durability, strength, and that go-anywhere ability are what made this car an icon. I love it. It's MOT exempt, but it does have an MOT until October this year. With no advisories, it passed on the last one. Not that there's that much to fail on. What a car, what an icon. You won't believe how cheap it is. 17 to 18,000 on the 1943 Willys. If you've never driven one, you know, you might want to buy this one, but in which case, register to bid, don't forget, and come down on Saturday or bid online. If you ever get the opportunity to drive one, grab it, because I am telling you, you will be massively impressed at how good they are. 1943 Willys, long wheelbase, Ford script tub. Yeah, you can see obviously next to the other one, this is the long wheelbase one. Perhaps an ambulance or a carrier for, no, because it's got a seat in the back. I thought it might be an ambulance Jeep. Immensely characterful, highly unusual, long wheelbase, an original Willys chassis, but with a Ford script tub on the back. In the early 60s, this Jeep was rescued from an orchard where it had been used for transporting apples. Fantastic. Well, they had to find all kinds of uses for all the military stuff after the war. A lot of the amphibious landing vehicles that the US military got left behind, people will know this, they'll be going, I know what you're going to say now. They were used for like pleasure rides on beaches. So you'd go and they'd sort of painted it like candy striped pink and white. Come and have a joyride round the bay and back onto land in this previously owned by the US military. They got used for all sorts of things. This one was used for transporting apples in an orchard and then abandoned there. The previous custodians restored the vehicle, used it as a work truck. It ran on the road until 1984 when it failed its MOT. Fancy that, it was only 40, it had only lasted 40 years as a workhorse and it failed its MOT. So, it was stored until 2018 and then acquired by the current owner who recommissioned it and restored it as, get this, right? Desert Light Stone as a kind of British North Africa campaign car, because we had an Aston, I think, that we used, but it wasn't nearly as good as this. The Long Range Desert Group, the precursors of the SAS, of course, used Chevrolet trucks because we didn't have anything that was anywhere near as good as the Chevrolet. When they got to North Africa, that was really what proved the mettle of a machine. And our stuff, unfortunately, wasn't up to the job. The men were up to the job, obviously, but the machines weren't, so they used the Yankee stuff because it was just more reliable and better. Notably, the absence of Pioneer tools is correct for a British Army specification Jeep. They were supplied on the US vehicles and not supplied to British forces. There's a 1944 jerrycan somewhere of German design. Round the back, I should imagine. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, so of course, called a jerrycan because this was a German design. And these, the way it's designed, you know this, don't you? That's to allow it to expand. The problem with our stuff was, we got to North Africa, and our stuff didn't allow the petrol to expand, which would allow and vents, which would allow horrible explosions. The Germans have worked that out, so we just use their stuff. Needs must. Yeah, and there was no more needs must than 1939 to 1945, was there? I love these. Look at this hood, it's in fantastic condition. Wheels are great, tyres are good. You could have a lot of fun in this. 14,500 to 15,500 pounds, 1943 Willys MB long wheelbase Jeep. Unique spec. Bit of overspray on them tyres. You need a bit of like acetone, nail varnish remover or something like that, don't you, to get that off. Although I suppose in some ways that would echo the way that things were done in the field. You know, there wasn't time to do anything fancy. You just had to paint it, stop it rusting and failing. Right, we're outside now and you're going to hear the noises of work and honest toil. People grinding and cutting metal, planes flying over, ships setting sail, because we're in Southampton and they do things here. And we sell cars like this one, the 2011 Mini Clubman Cooper D Hampton. What a long name for not an especially large car. Although, for a Mini, it's pretty damn big, isn't it? Finished in reef blue metallic with a black leather interior with red stitching. This one's got 131,000 miles on it in the last, 16 years. The specification includes bi-xenon headlamps, electric windows, climate control, heated seats. It's had 2 keepers. The paintwork is good. It does present well. I'm saying it's kind of black, but with a very sort of bluey, purpley sort of tinge to it. Very smart inside. Very smart and well ordered inside. Loads of room in the back. Much more than a conventional Mini, because this is the Clubman type jobby with the double doors in the back. Double windscreen wipers. Not exactly acres of luggage space, but certainly it qualifies as a family car. Sort of, those doors are unusual, aren't they? Because I think you've got that, and then this obviously opens, but don't ask me how. You're thinking, you don't even know that. I've never had one of these. I remember driving this incarnation of the Mini when it first came out. I was persuaded to try and reenact an unseen, an unshown, a deleted even scene from the Italian Job. We had an Italian Job Mini earlier in the sale. I wasn't encouraged. I did recreate the deleted scene where they drive around inside an ice rink, except we went to Coventry to do it and we didn't use studded tyres. How we didn't smash the cars to pieces, I will never know. This one very much not smashed to pieces. Like I said, 131,000 miles. 50th anniversary of the Mini badge there on the front. That you can have that comes for free. And the tax on this one is just £20 a year. Explain how that makes any sense. But it might not make sense, but it might be a good thing. And it might be a reason for you to spend between £5,000 and £6,000 on this car in our sale this coming Saturday, the March sale at Barron's Manor Park here in Southampton, where they do all sorts of noisy things and more power to them. These cars were super duper expensive when they were new, and I know because I know 2 rock stars and one of them bought one of these, and when he told me how much it cost from Sytner in Nottingham, because they were the only authorised Alpina dealers in the country at the time, before Alpina was absorbed into BMW, as I believe it is now, it was just so much more than the next car from BMW, an Alpina B10, one of 112 UK manuals, finished in Nachtblau, midnight blue, trimmed with grey leather and featuring blue piping. It's got a manual gearbox. It's 101 of those 112 right-hand drive models built for the UK. Over the last 3 years, somebody spent £7,000 sorting out the suspension, electrical work, wheels, lights and other maintenance. Yeah, look at those beautiful and distinctive Alpina multi-spoke alloy wheels. That was it. Try not to look too much at that. This obviously needs sorting out. We're not trying to hide anything here. The paint, that needs cutting out. wheel arch repair kit, which I'm sure you can get for this generation of BMW, which is now 26 years old. Well worth it though. Look at that, the unique Alpina wheels. This is all the expensive stuff that you're expecting. Again, look it up, have a read around it if you're interested. It's hard to believe how much extra they wanted if you were buying the Alpina rather than the conventional from a regular BMW showroom that you'd find on any British high street. If you went to Sytner's and bought one of these, it was a ton of money. The exterior is very original, typical E39 corrosion on the rear arches, as we've just demonstrated to you. In the boot lid, the car retains an impressive stance, strong road presence, looks superb. You've got to get that bodywork done, and that would enhance its appearance. Another example of a car that is criminally affordable, although I don't know what I mean by that, so you'll have to work it out. In other words, they are cheap because it was such a good car, it offered such good value for money. They sold a load of them, which means there were a lot around on the used market. If it was a lot rarer, it'd be a lot more expensive, but it's not. Doesn't mean it's not a good car. These are really good. Mercedes-Benz SLK 230 compressor. So it's got the supercharger, it's the 2.3 motor in here. It is that traditional mix of a silver exterior with a black leather interior. It's got the fisheye aluminum, the turned aluminium dashboard, which kind of supposed to conjure up image of pre-war Mercedes, supercharged Mercedes. I mean, it is a supercharged compressor, German for supercharger. It's got a supercharger. It's a 2.3 rear wheel drive. This one's well cared for. It's an auto. It'd be nice if it was a manual, but it's not. These are usually very ropey. The paint, they usually go around here as well. Oh, that one's going there. I was going to say this one isn't. It is. It's just going there and just going there because that's where they go. The wheels are a little bit scuffed up. It needs new wheel nuts on there. Decent tyres. Uniroyal Rain Sports. Are they matching? No, they're not. But it's got 4 decent tyres on it. It is starting to go a little bit in the places that you might expect now that it's nearly 25 years old. Yeah, but generally it's good. 2 keepers from new, 72,000 miles on it, only light and sympathetic use in the last 4 years. Presents well, little bit of rust here and there, tiny little bit if you go around the car looking for it. But that's reflected in the price. No reserve on this 2002 Mercedes-Benz SLK 230 compressor with just 72,000 miles on the odometer. Summer's coming and the time is right for buying a Mini Cooper S Cabriolet. Low mileage, open top S. So it's in cool blue metallic with a blue convertible hood. It's got 57,000 miles in it and benefits from a very good service history. Under the bonnet, it's got a 1600cc engine and a 6-speed manual transmission. The service book contains 13 stamped entries. The interior's good, seats look well cared for. Let's see if it's open. It is. Have a look inside. It's rather lovely. Very well kept, seats are in good order. Bit of wear on the bolster on the driver's seat. The alloy wheels are in good condition, the convertible roof operates smoothly, the tyres appear to be in good order. They're making a boat back there. You wouldn't think it'd be that noisy, boat building, would you? But it is. Mind you, you might think, no, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, the tyres are really good. Wheels, yeah, great. They've been refurbed, obviously, at some point. What did we say the mileage was? Low mileage, it says here. Yeah, 57,000 miles since 2005. Well, this car's over 20 years old. Just think, on a sunny day like today, this convertible hood, which is in great condition and operates perfectly, get that down, spinning along in such a stylish motor, no one would know that you'd paid as little as between £5,000 and £6,000, which is our estimate for this car. Deep breath. Look at the size of this. 2004 Nissan Navara D22 2.5 Di 4x4 King Cab. Blimey. What a long name for quite a long vehicle. It's a king cab. I was going to say, is this left-hand drive? I don't know if this is UK spec. So, you're thinking, oh, is there other seats in the back? No. It's got a king cab, so this is kind of a secure indoor storage area. Cloth seats, I can see a little bit of damage to those seats, not much in the way of wear. This has got the 2.5 diesel engine with a 5-speed manual gearbox, 96,000 miles from new. We've got the V5, the original coachwork, oh, is it coach built? The paintwork on this truck, because it is a working truck, is in a remarkably good condition. It obviously wasn't used as a builder or for anything too strenuous, because otherwise there'd be a lot more wear on that bed liner. The chassis displays some natural surface rust, apparently, but appears solid overall. It would benefit from light preparation. I think we'd all benefit from light preparation. Yeah, if you have a look underneath, you think, oh, there's a bit of rust under there. Well, yeah, we're in Southampton, we're next to the sea. That's going to happen. But it's been looked after, this. It's not all banged up at all. Look how straight it is, if you can just get a shot down the side. Wheels are in fantastic condition, tyres are great, they'll last forever. Look at that, look how much tread there is. Half my fingers going down there, if you'll pardon the expression. The wheels are in excellent order, as I just said. The plastic low bread's good. The chassis, we've talked about the chassis. The cabin's well cared for. Yeah, it's been, I'm trying to think what it's been used for. I think this might be one of them jobs. This hasn't had a work life. It's not been a workhorse, this. It's too nice. There are too few bangs, knocks, scratches, things held on with gaffer tape. There's none of that. Interior with no sig burns in the interior, anything daft like that. I think this is one of these where it's a commercial vehicle, obviously, so they've had it as a commercial vehicle and just thought, yeah, great, and it's just been used as a car, not as a truck, which is what it is. It's an honest working truck, and it could be for you very affordably, because £4,000 to £6,000, not the sort of thing we usually have here by any stretch of the imagination, but this sale, remarkable variety and also quality. Find another one of these at this age, over 20 years old, that is as clean and nice and straight as that one. £4,000 to £6,000 is the estimate. 1962 Jaguar Mark II restoration project. We're told that this one was built, we say 62, but we reckon it was built on the 29th of August 1960 as a 3.4 manual, and then broken down again and sent to South Africa, where they put it back together to get around all sorts of laws and taxes and all that sort of stuff. The car's got a 4-speed Moss gearbox with overdrive, limited slip differential. It's got features that make us think it's a 1960, including a smooth back centre dash. It's got red leather seats. Ooh, they've seen better days, but it is a restoration project. So it's got the smooth black dash, which tends to indicate it's a 1960 car. Pendant throttles, so a throttle pedal that hangs down rather than being floor mounted, and pressed front wishbones. The engine's free and it turns, the oil is clean, there are no carbs, and it's not running. Much of the floor and chassis appear to be in very good condition, as does the boot floor. However, the front near side cross member does show corrosion. The interior has largely been removed, the seats are still in it. Again, they have seen better days. Driver's seat is good, passenger seat not so clever, back seat is fantastic, if you'll pardon the expression. This is a comprehensive restoration project, that much should be apparent to you. There are all sorts of stuff here, like these, are they repair panels or the original sort of wheel spats that go with it? Since it was last sold, the car's remained untouched in storage and comes to us via a change of plan. Somebody's thought that discretion was the greater part of valour and decided to dodge that one and send it down here. But a lot of the work has been done. The car has got a current V5C. There's no other paperwork with this car. Obviously, a lot of this stuff has been removed for renovation, restoration, a good polish, or perhaps replacement. Yeah, some of it won't make the grade. However, there also appears to be 3 boxes of booze. I wonder if there's any actual booze in there. Hold on a second, let me see it by weight. No, that's probably parts for this car. It doesn't feel heavy enough to have any beer in it. That's a shame. Getting quite thirsty after all this talking. 5,000 to 7... Yeah, I know what you're saying. Put it in the comments. Let me read it. You got him laughing. First laugh I got out of him all day. Say it in the comments. I love it. 5,000 to 7,000 on that one. Built in South Africa from a knockdown kit. We think it's a 1960 spec 3.4 with a manual 4-speed Moss box. Needs a lot of work to bring it back to life, but still worth, we reckon, between 5,000 and 7,000 of your English pounds. Next to it, bit of an 80s icon. Not a religious painting on wood. I know that's what an icon is. Yeah, but we use that word differently these days. In other words, it's something that people sort of worship, and they do, don't they? The 1985 Ford Escort RS Turbo Series 1. Come on! Grey cloth Recaro interior. Yes, it's got a grey cloth Recaro interior. It has a sunroof, a 5-speed manual gearbox. The interior is in very good order. I reckon it must be low mileage. The vendor describes the car as good condition, needing some recommissioning after a period spent off the road. The paintwork could do with a bit of improvement, as they say. Yeah, look at this on the back spoiler. Because, of course, the paint reacted differently to being put onto rubber and plastic. That's rubber, isn't it? Rubberized and plastic than it did being put on metalwork. And so it stuck better to some bits than others. At the time, back in 1985, it would have all been perfect. But as the years have gone by, there's been a bit of shrinkage, if you'll pardon the expression. You know, comes to all of us in the end. And that needs sorting out. We've got an amount of paperwork on file with invoices from previous works, £4,000 worth of expenditure in the last 12 months alone. There is a problem with the fuel injection as I speak to you right now, and that's why we've had... Oh, here we go. Come and have a look at this. Yeah. So there's a problem with the fuel injection. It will fire up if you introduce fuel via another method, and we are investigating what exactly is wrong with the fuel injection system while it comes to auction. Ideally, come and see this car or view the images online before making a purchasing decision, because even though, he said, gently replacing that, even though this one isn't exactly in show condition, the car is still worth between £19,000 and £22,000 because, as I think I said, bit of an 80s icon. That's the best colour for these as well, isn't it? White with a grey interior. When you think RS Turbo, that's the image in your head. Reliant scimitar. No, not like the one that Princess Anne had. She had 8 of them. I've had 4 with the 3-litre Essex V6 engine. No, this one. The Scimitar SS1, Michelotti design body. Yeah, Michelotti, the guy who did all those lovely Triumphs like the Stag and the TR6 and all that, didn't he? Back in the day, TR4, yeah. Michelotti designed, fiberglass body, a Ford 1300cc engine, 3 keepers this one. This could be the version with a galvanised chassis, but it might not be. The bodywork shows sign of age of an SS1. Including micro blistering on the paint and some marks and cracks. Yeah, due to the fact that over the years the paint becomes less pliable, less movable as the decades go by, because this is 86, which with simple maths means that this car's 40 years old. Doesn't look like what a 40-year-old car in your head has got wire wheels and leather seats and a wooden steering wheel, hasn't it? But this is what a 40-year-old car actually looks like, although not too many cars looked like this. A characterful 2-seater. Very successful in hill climbs and all sorts of sprint-type, inexpensive, road-legal car motorsport. Mechanically, this one's benefited from a considerable amount of recent expenditure. See our website for a full list of the work that has been done. We've got a really good website. Also comes with an extensive service history, as well as various service invoices. No reserve. 40-year-old, distinctive, 2-seater, British convertible sports car. Mitsubishi Shogun on the end. Oh, is this an import with that wing on the back? Look at this. Wow. Mitsubishi Shogun V6, legendary off-road capability with smooth V6 power. First registered in the UK in 2025, having lived in, yes, it is an import, but right-hand drive, you're thinking, well, yeah, JDM, they're right-hand drive over there in that Japan where they make these. It's an import from Jersey. UK fully registered, you're thinking, Jersey, it can't have done many miles. Well, it can't, because Jersey's tiny. Although lovely, it is tiny, so it can't have done many miles. I'll let you know how many in just a minute. 48,000 from new since 1999. Comes with an MOT, passed with no advisories. Factory fitted inclinometer. Now there's a word, great word, inclinometer. So you know what angle of ascent or descent you're attempting. I'll tell you what, the paint's in fantastic condition. Were they ever this nice? Great colour as well. Clean and tidy, a sunshine roof, a rear load carrying area, and the dealer fitted Philips radio cassette player, automatic gearbox on this one. And like we say, it's got that smooth V6 power. We've got the import documentation to prove that it was originally a Jersey car. In March 2025, it had 6 new spark plugs and a replacement battery. 9,000 to 10,000 pounds for an old Mitsubishi Shogun. Yes, but I say find one in this sort of condition. The wheels have obviously been recently refurbed. This all looks like brand new. It looks like it's a year or two old at the most and in really good condition. But it's not. It's 27 years old. Which is why you won't find one like this. But you could have this one, we reckon, for between 9,000 and 10,000 pounds. The V6 Shogun. Automatic V6. Fantastic. A Ford Fiesta Flight. Simple, honest, get you from A to B motoring. 41,000 miles. We've got a well-documented service history. This just went to collect like cat food and a copy of the People's Friends from the co-op, didn't it? That's what this was used for. This is, oh no, hold on a minute, it's a 5-door. Woof. Really? Wow. Recent cam belt and water pump replacement was driven to the auction from over an hour away, which would suggest strong mechanical health. I'm looking round this one. A useful hatchback, the Fiesta Flight. I'm with the best in Europe. Bristol Street Motors in Birmingham. There's Bristol Street everywhere back in the day, wasn't there? But there was definitely one in Birmingham. And do you know what it was? It was near BBC Pebble Mill, where I worked for 11 and a half years. Don't believe what you see on Wikipedia. That's nonsense. 11 and a half years as part of the Top Gear team. Not necessarily on Top Gear all the time, but as part of the team. Like we say, this one's a 5-door. Let's have a look at the upholstery. Come on, look at that. It's had a clean, hasn't it? It's definitely had a clean. The cloth interior. That's what you would have got with the Flight Edition. 5 seat belts, full-size 5-seater. And there you are. Very little in the way of wear and tear. Great reputation, these little Fiestas. That's why they made it for so long. It really was a class leader in its time. And I think it deposed the Escort, the Ford Escort, as Britain's best-selling car. Alloy wheels. Look at these alloy wheels that you got on the Flight. Look how nice they are. They've got a bit of wear and tear here. Brand new Yokohama tyres. Yes, sir. Brand new Yokohama tyres. Ready to enjoy a modern classic. Can we call this, are we pushing it a bit if we call this Fiesta Flight from 1992 a modern classic? I don't think so. I don't think so. Many people will feel an incredible on the Flight as well. Rear wash wipe. Oh yeah, yeah. Not quite your gear, your Fiesta gear. I dated a girl who had a Fiesta gear. She had it from new, she was only 18. Her dad had money. I missed the trick there, should have stuck with that one. Fantastic. Yes, it is a modern classic. No reserve in this Saturday's sale. 41,000 miles from new, 1992 Ford Fiesta Flight. And now for something quite different in many ways. A 2007 Audi TT. 2007? This looks more modern than that. This was maybe the first year of this body style on the TT. 3.2 Quattro, this is the real thing, come on. All-wheel drive, all-weather performance, Rosso Corsa with a black leather interior. Wow, what a sporty interior that's got. Look at that. Look at those seats. And it's not even a round steering wheel. You know you're in something that professes to be really sporty when the steering wheel isn't round. That's a statement of intent, isn't it? It's like, I am a performance car. Yes, it's an automatic. It's got air conditioning, leather trim, powered by the 3.2 engine with a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's in great condition. It was driven here. It's got an extensive schedule of maintenance and general upkeep. It's just had laser wheel alignment, a fresh MOT, a new battery and a service. Fantastic. You're going to think, that's going to be big bucks, Barry. Au contraire. For this 2007 Audi TT 3.2 Quattro, I think it's the bargain of the sale so far. Look at those anthracite wheels. Look how good they are. Nice. I like that. Goes really well with this red. The red and black looks great. Nobody would know you'd only spent, we think, between £4,000 and £6,000 if you decide to bid. If you do decide to bid, don't forget you have to register. Do that online. Get yourself down here to Southampton for our sale this Saturday, or just do it online. A lot of car. A lot of car. Not a lot of car, but I do like them. Especially, look how unavowedly 70s this car is. It's damson. Do you like plum? Do you like plums? 1973, Triumph Spitfire Mark IV. Classic British sports car. It says here in a striking colour. It could only be 1973. No one else would have painted a car this colour at any other time in the history of the car, except 1973. I remember in 1973, our front room was a symphony of orange and brown. Everything was orange and brown, except for us. The car represents an honest and usable example, it says here, but the bodywork does require attention. I can't see where. It looks lovely. It looks in great condition, like it's been recently restored. There's a chip there, there's a chip there, and there's a chip there. Yeah, the back lid has suffered from some sort of paint reaction. Yeah, if you go around the car and you're being really picky, the arches are nice. Oh, here we go. Yes. There has been some weight reduction, as Derek from Vice Grip would say. The #1 car YouTube. Oh, look at that. Got my hands dirty. That's a first. I haven't done that since the 80s when I worked in roofing and realised that I didn't want to work for a living and did this instead. Right, let's have a look inside. There's obviously been some retrimming of a homemade nature that's gone on here to replace whatever was going on. But they've not done too bad a job, and it's kind of in character with the rest of the car. Look at this, a simple, honest, two-seater British sports car. And if you have got one of those, don't forget to have a fire extinguisher on hand, because you never know what's going to happen with these old British sports cars. What a lovely thing. It drives well, it's mechanically strong, extensive recent engine rebuild. There's an invoice for the engine rebuild. There's an invoice for the engine rebuild that was recently done. Shall we play like Bruce's Play Your Cards Right with the cameraman? What do we reckon for the engine rebuild? £4,000 higher or lower? Higher, lower, higher, lower? Lower, he says. Lower than 4,000? No, higher. Higher than 5,000? What do you say, higher or lower? Oh, he's undecided. Make your mind up, higher or lower? Higher? Higher than 6,000. Higher than 6,000. What do you reckon? Yeah? No, he says, and I say, yeah. £6,800. We have the invoice. Nearly £7,000 for an engine rebuild. But hey, if that's how much it costs, that's how much it costs. Please don't think I'm knocking the good people who do that sort of work. I understand you've got skills, you need to earn a living, etc. But somebody spent £7,000 almost having the engine rebuilt on this baby. The odometer shows 26,000 miles, but it's no longer working, so it might have done a bit more than that. We're not sure. It says here, an appealing opportunity to acquire a fundamentally strong, freshly rebuilt Spitfire. Well, yeah. Oh. £7,000 engine rebuild. Wow. And it's no reserve in our sale. Look past. I love this. I think it's called Damson. They did the TR6 in this colour and the Stag. Yes, I'm aware of that. I don't think they did the saloon cars. Just the Stag and the TR6 and the Spitfire, the sporty cars. Because it's a bit much for some people. I love it. Even if you don't like it, look past that and think about all that work and all that money that somebody else has put into it. You could benefit from that. No reserve in our sale. Another lovely Spitfire, pimento yellow I think this is, he said confidently. Again, get in the comments and go, Inca yellow, you idiot. Although I think that was an MG colour. Striking example, been restored and upgraded, now featuring the larger and more powerful 1500cc engine. We've got an invoice to reflect that. We know that it's got that. 4-speed gearbox with overdrive, reconditioned differential, new universal joint, stainless steel exhaust system, oil cooler fitted, new brake pipes, new fuel pipes. The bodywork presents beautifully. What a lovely car. The interior has been... Whoa. I hadn't seen that. That is striking, isn't it? The interior has been retrimmed, as you can see, in blue and yellow. It says here, the colour scheme is certainly unique. It is well finished and in good condition. It is. Ideal for summer drives, shows or relaxed touring. The exterior is great, the wheels are good, these tyres look brand newish. It doesn't need an MOT because it's from 1972. It's a great colour. I do like a sticky on front number plate like that. It can get you in mither with the authorities, but I think they tend to take less of a dim view if you're driving a classic like this than if you're like a brash young person, like the cameraman here, driving like a Lamborghini Gallardo or something like that, and you've got a sticky on number plate. They don't like that. But if you're in something like this, they just wave at you and say, oh, you've got a lovely old classic car. Look at that, absolutely fantastic. £5,000 to £7,000 on the Triumph Spitfire with the 1500cc engine. Oof, bit of me this. Bit of me this. I think, in your head, what you think, you might be looking at it and going, no, it's not a bit of you, because that is an elegant, classy, grey space and pace, it says here. Never more apparent than in this car, was it? The grace, the space. Look at the space inside. Look at it. Is this long wheelbase? XJ6 4.2 auto. Top of the tree for the time. Nobody does interiors like Jaguar. Well, they do. Bentley, for starters. But, you know, who could afford a Bentley? But I've had a few of these Jags and I bloody love them. Look how great this is in here. What's this one done? Right, let's work out the mileage. 40,000, just over 40,000 since 1979. Accompanied by a stamped service book. It's finished in Regency Red, and this is tan Connolly hide. Look at these seats. Oh, I'm in love. Wonderful. In great condition. Absolutely great condition. Let me just have a look at the driver's seat. Get my big old bum out of there, off that lovely seat. Yeah, it's in great nick. As are the carpets. They're obviously recent. Oh, hold on a second. There's quite a bit of wear down there where you put your feet, as there obviously would be. But the rest of it is in great condition. The coachwork is largely unrestored. Yeah, this car's just been kept. Hey, look at this sunshine roof here, which looks like it must go back to there. The wheel arches are crisp and clean. It's sharp underneath. Yeah, it's in great nick. Twin tanks, obviously. Oh. Did Jaguar ever... Was there ever a better looking saloon car? Convertibles, two-seaters, coupes. Yeah, but I ask you this. Has there ever been... There have been better saloon cars. There have. But has there ever been a better looking one than the Jaguar XJ6 from this period? And this one has got the 4.2. It's got electric windows. They all work perfectly. The sunroof was fitted. Oh, it was fitted by the dealer when new. Right, okay. So that was a dealer option. The original jack and spare wheel are included, along with the toolkit. The car's MOT exempt, but it has got a 12 months MOT. Regency red with that Connolly hide. Shall I shut up now? What a car. There's never been a better looking saloon car in the history of motoring. There just hasn't. £5,000 to £7,000 for such an elegant, great looking car, so original, great colour. That colour hasn't horribly dated. The interior's fantastic. It's got every option you could imagine for a car from this period, and it is criminally underpriced, but that could be all the better for you because you're thinking, I'd love it, but is it going to be crazy money? No, we reckon £5,000 to £7,000, which is an insane bargain. I passed my motorcycle test on my brother's Lambretta Li 150 Series 3. And it was red and white like this one. How fantastic to see one in this sort of condition. 1963 Lambretta, a proper Innocenti Lambretta, not one of those Cervettas that was made in Spain or one of these Scooters India scooters that rather obviously were made in Lucknow, India, which is where Cliff Richard was born. Not one of those. Don't know why I told you that, but I did. A proper Innocenti made Li 150 Series 3. The slim style. The earlier scooters were more bulbous, not nearly as pretty as this one. Such a good looking bike, a really cohesive, stylish design. The original Italian number plates included in this one with its accompanying... Oh, right, so, I mean, Lambretta sold a lot of scooters in the UK, which is why Peter and Charles Agg, the two guys who ran Lambretta concessionaires, built one of the best collections of Ferraris in the world off the back of selling so many of these Lambretta scooters here in the UK. But this one was sold in Italy. We've got the Lambretta Club of Great Britain certificate of authenticity. The engine's been refurbished with new bearings, seals, piston rings, and it's got Viton seals to ensure that it can run on modern unleaded fuel. As part of the restoration, it was resprayed in a 1K paint system, colour matched the original Innocenti colours, which are Nuovo white and Rosso Rubino red. The electrics have been upgraded from 6 to 12 volts with electronic ignition, no battery. They've replaced the gear, throttle, brake and clutch cables. Some of the paintwork have become faded or dull, so it's been polished up. The engine starts and runs well. It's been regularly turned over to maintain lubrication. However, due to the vendor's health issues, it's been stored in a dry garage for 18 months and seen limited use. While a fully running machine, it will require some recommissioning. I love it. Like I said, passed my test on one in 1982 on my brother's Li 150, which even then was 20 years old. Wow, just think. That's older than me, and I'm 62 nearly. 1963 Lambretta Li Series 3, no reserve. We reckon that this authentic, proper Italian Innocenti Lambretta might sell for less than some of these dodgy restorations that are kind of done. I'm not going to say where, but there's a lot of dodgy stuff around. This is genuine, honest. I used to be the editor of Scootering magazine. I think I know a little bit what I'm talking about. Got my hands dirty again. Like I've been doing actual work instead of just talking. No reserve, love it. Here's something interesting, an aerial arrow. Wow, they didn't really have money to compete with the other British bike makers, aerial. So they kind of designed this space age bodywork to make themselves look different and distinctive, and to try and convince the lads that they could buy one of these aerials. It's $250, isn't it? Understood to have been subject to an older restoration. They were trying to compete with Triumph, Norton, BSA, everybody else, and with Honda within a few years with Honda. This was 1960 though, when British bikes ruled the road. Look, you can tell how sporty it is. It's got these are called Ace bars, where they bend like that, after the famous Ace Cafe in North London, where the lads would go, and where they filmed The Leather Boys, and Johnny Briggs, aka Mike Baldwin of Coronation Street, rode one of these in the film The Leather Boys. And I got to talk to Johnny about that in a Manchester pub. We had a good old conversation. He told me that the reason he rode one of these is because although a handsome man, he was, you'll remember, the guy who played Mike Baldwin, He wasn't the longest in the leg, and neither am I. So they wanted him to ride a big Triumph or BSA 650 and he couldn't reach the ground. So they sent one of these round and he said, great, I'll ride that. So he did. This one's in really lovely condition. The paintwork presents really well. We've got all kinds of maintenance invoices and stuff like paperwork. We've got the current V5 and the original buff logbook. The tyres are new. Yeah, brand new tyres. What else can I tell you? The leather seat is in good condition. I'm not sure that's leather. I think that might be vinyl. It does look good though, and it's got a bit of a texture to it, so you're not sliding backwards and forwards all the time. Bit of a carrying back on the back there for your butty box or your camping equipment. If you're off to the Trossachs on a touring holiday, you can tour on anything. Somebody asked me about a touring bike and said any motorcycle is a touring motorcycle. It's just a question of how far you want to go before it stops being fun. 1960 aerial hour, £2,500 to £3,500. That's it. Those are the cars and a few bikes that are in our March sale. It's this Saturday coming. Don't forget to bid online. Also, don't forget, when I give you these numbers, they're only estimates and there are fees for both buyers and sellers. The sun's shining. It's time to get out there on the road in a classic convertible, a fabulously stylish Italian scooter or a great British bike. Come on, get your hand in your pocket and get something bought. But you can't do that unless you register to bid. So go to our website, Manor Park Classics. See you Saturday.